What up, everybody? Welcome back to Season 22, War 1 versus Kenobi Jedi Knights. I've got an interesting war, quite a few fights here, 9 fights, including a boss fight, rank 3 thing, and some I would say some interesting fights. So first up, we've got Hyperion on the Incinerate Poison node, and then Nick Fury, who's a 6-3. The idea here is Captain Marvel, get into binary and rinse this man down. Rinse both these fights down, actually. So I am going to go ahead. I'm not worried about hype, but I'm going to use a Power Start 1 boost because I don't want to die to Nick Fury. I don't want to die ever, and especially not in the first war of the season. Trying to keep that streak alive. Last season got off to kind of a poor start. So I'm gonna try to get off to a hella strong start in this one and play well all season. So he is going to be just about down with this SP2, and one hit ought to do it. There we go. So hype. I didn't want to overlook that fight, but he was definitely not my main concern for this path. That's why I'm using the Cosmic Boost. I don't typically use Corvus in war. We've got some other guys with 6-3 Awakened Corvuses, so I typically don't bring mine. So using them on Cap Marvel, never a bad idea. So he's got Resistor and the Power Focus 1, which I had to double check on there. So I'm like, okay. Basically, when he's over a bar of power, I am just going to block. And if I bait his heavy and counter with my heavy, it will stun him. So that's always cool. Get into binary here. And I'm going to make a little bit of a mistake. You're going to see it. I'm going to go in, get my heavy. I'm going to go for a second heavy. The game kind of glitched a little there. I think you can see it in playback. He goes ahead and launches L1. I'm like, okay, didn't kill me. Puts the disorient on me. I'm going to actually heal just a fuzz. And the whole idea here, once again, just kind of block, reparry, keep my Furies up. It kind of sucked because it knocked all my charges way down when he knocked me over. So I'm just going to kind of hold on, keep doing this number, and then throw the special 3 because I'll get a nice power gain back from it as well. And I know it's pushing him close to breaking his LMD. Captain Marvel, she's pretty cool. I don't regret that rank up at all. There we go. Drop the LMD. Perfect. Now it's just a matter of keeping an eye on his charges. Okay, he goes unblockable, so I want to throw my special 1, get him out of that unblockable phase. And now I kind of need to just kill a little bit of time, build up my charges, let that all go, come back off cooldown. And I can start attacking him again. There we go. I got the Incinerates on me. In pretty good shape here. So yeah, that would have stunned him. That's why it says immune. Perfect. Great shape. And he's down. So while being a little bit nervous about that, I was actually really pleased with how much health I ended the fight with and how well it went. So cannot be disappointed. All right, I got to go back in here and do a mastery change. I'm going to take Suicides off. I wanted max damage for that fight. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. This is pretty much my build almost all the time. You'll notice it's a little bit different than what you see a lot of people running, but it works for me. So throwing in Despair, no Suicides. I don't have Resonate on yet. You'll see me turn it on right before the boss because that extends some of these fights, especially rage fights and stuff, way too long. So this Tigra, it's a little bit tricky placement. She is 6'3", so quite a bit of health. And Doom, let's see, she's got the power snack, the backup recovery. So my whole game plan coming into this is basically power control, right? So special 1, spam, maybe try to get into the special 3 rotation with Doom, and just kind of go from there. So the backup recovery, like I said, it can be a little bit tricky. The whole plan with Tigra is just block. And you'll see here, I get the reparry, but there's one time where she actually goes into a heavy, I dex, and then she gains a bunch of power, and yeah, life gets a little bit crazy right here. There it was, and because I couldn't power drain her anymore, I was like, all right, just block. I did it again, but thankfully it was on cooldown. Took a little bit of hits into my block to build power. Worked out perfect. I feel like, okay, I'm in pretty good shape. I know I'm getting ready to do a ton of damage. And anytime I fight Tigra, my whole plan is just don't let her use a special. I hate that it chases me like all the way across the screen. Alright, so I know right here she's getting ready to enter backup recovery, so I don't want to throw my special 2 just out of nowhere. And I'm like, alright, power steal, power steal, power steal. So I ended a bunch of light attacks there, ended it on a light, so that way I could steal as much power as possible. Thankfully, it got me to the SP3. I was like, whoo, alright, cool. So that was probably the most sketchiest part. I'm sure Doom being Doom probably could have survived a special 3, but didn't really want to find out personally. Special 2 here with 2 Furies is going to end it very easily. No problem. So 3 fights in, no deaths, feeling good. Decent boost for that first section, medium boost, the 20%ers. Of course, everything else I've got in overflow except for the health boost. Those orange ones, I've got them expiring. I'm using them in Alliance Quest. So, Mole Man, he is stubborn defender. This is Rage. So the whole idea here for me is basically parry a bunch to build up my whatever charges where I can actually dex and they don't go indestructible. And then kind of just wait, bait heavies basically and punish. And of course, as always, don't hit into his block. Get a couple of nice intercepts to start the fight. And he's indestructible. Haven't really built up too many. I know he's going to shrug those, so I'm just kind of... Yeah, so I skip ahead here because this fight, it just went on and on and on. So whenever he's in that orange countdown, cooling, timer, whatever that is, he won't shrug the debuff. So I thought, all right, I'm going to throw the special 2, do a bunch of big damage. And you can see here, I barely lost any health. This fight was very simple. Nothing to it. Just don't hit into his block. And don't assume your parry is going to stick unless he's got that orange timer going on. So, wasn't boosted for that since it is Rage. No reason to. I'm going to throw on a couple of Mystic boosts here that I had in Overflow. And this is going to be for the final push. All the rest of the fights are mine. I'm cleared. Debuff's been placed on Thing. So, first up is Vision with the... Aggression Prowess and Power Focus 2, so it's not unblockable, but he won't gain much power over 2 bars. So for me, it's a standard Doom fight, basically, special 1 into special 3, or special 3 and, hold for special 3, so we'll see. So I know he's going to shrug that right out of the gate with his tenacity, which is perfectly fine. And right here with 2 bars, he just throws it into my block. I was like, all right. Cool. So I was going to throw my special 1, but since he went ahead and threw that, I just held for my special 3. I always tend to forget sometimes with like the power gain and Mystic Dispersion after an L3 how much power Doom gains. So you'll see that come to bite me, not this, in a couple of fights. You'll see it against Venom with all his buffs. So here, I know I'm gaining power like mad, so I slow my combo down so I can make sure I get to that special 3. And this is gonna just about do it, I think. So close. But he's stunned, so it's just come in, couple hits, life is good. Alright, next 3 fights are also Doom fights. We got Emma on Rage, Black Widow Clairvoyant on the special 1, or not Clairvoyant, Black Widow Deadly Origin on the special 1 node, and then Venom on the power gain mini boss, which the power gain doesn't really help him since he doesn't have any power gain mechanic. And here, I do want to throw on, I don't feel like using potions. I'm capped on the regen boosts, might even have one in overflow, so I'm going to throw it on just for this first fight because I know it's long. And I will end up skipping ahead in this one. You've seen me do it quite a few times. So I'm just going to show the first 10-15 seconds and then we'll cut ahead because I do kind of mix up my strategy here. So as the fight wears on, I'm noticing that I'm never triggering Rage, even when she's not in diamond form, right? So I throw a bunch of special 1s to power control. And then, like I said, as the fight wore on, I was like, I'm going to start testing some SP2s. So check this out. So she's out of diamond form. Even if those last 3 crit, it would only give her 3 Furies, and then I could just come in and nullify them. So that was the play right there. Just special 2 with Doom, and really rinse her down. and then if you need to throw the special one to nullify, do that, but don't go all the way to SP3. It's not worth it against her. So once again, super easy matchup, done it a bunch. Next one, I have done this fight quite a few times, so now it's time to throw on the big boy boost for these remaining 3 fights. 15% attack, got the 20% health, and we'll throw on a 30%er that I pick up in the monthly quest with grinded units. Thank you very much. In this fight here, Doom being shock immune is, I mean, it's huge. You'll see. I think she gets off like a full-blown combo into me. So it's got Hurt Locker, and of course the Power Focus 1. So I got to keep an eye on that, and I don't want to throw the same special twice, but with Doom, you kind of rarely are throwing the same special twice. It's either SP3, SP1, SP2, but depending on matchups, of course. So off to a good start. All I want to do here is parry, or try to re-parry. I go in too early, get stunned, get full comboed. Then she goes unblockable. Was able to block that part, and I was like, okay, let's just reset this a little bit here. Off to a bad start on my part. Got the re-parry. Sometimes it's a little tricky on champs that have a double medium like that, but you just kind of like let off the block halfway through the first, like you let the first hit you, let off block, and then hit it again, and you'll get the re-parry. But I definitely recommend practicing that technique, because the ones that have the double medium, it's just a little trickier. But once you get it down, it feels like second nature. So we'll steal a little bit of power here, and then the only thing I want to do now is re-parry and get to the special 2 with my Fury still up. Nice, got the re-parry. I was watching my timer there. I was like, I don't have time for one more hit. Let's get this last one in with the Furies up. And it worked perfect. We'll steal a little bit of power, even though her SP2 like doesn't give her the evade charge. I don't plan on baiting specials here. Just gonna kind of keep going to town. Good to go. So no problem, although that combo to the face did cost me, I think, 2 potions. So while unfortunate, it's always best to err on the side of caution and come out alive. So yep, 2 potions here is plenty, and I'm going to throw on another special start 1 boost. I don't like using 2 in a war if I don't have to, but maybe going into that Fury fight next time I wouldn't use 1, but I just really wanted to, like I said, get off to the right start facing Kenobi. They died once early, and it's like, man, we got a window to win. So, and I don't want to die, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes. So all I'm after here is to stagger. I was okay with him going ahead and throwing it. I do want to re-parry a lot. Perfect. I don't want to get one more in. There we go. Push him well over 2 bars, 2.5 bars. This is where my mistake comes in. So when I start to do the normal Doom rotation of medium, light, medium, well, I'm going to nullify some of his buffs, and it's going to push my power too far. Like, okay, and I was like, oh no, what did I just do? And I was like, oh, I'm going to launch this anyway. And then I'm just going to hold block. Like, let's see if I hold block if he doesn't want to hit me. Now, of course, I don't have an invul on, but I mean, I knew that his special 3 wouldn't kill me, even if it does apply a bleed. I'm boosted pretty hard. So, and this is a rank 3 Venom, but it was no sweat. So I was like, okay, that didn't feel great, but I'm not dead. Got tons of health here. I'm gonna throw another special 3, and I was like, yeah, this one ought to hopefully, like I said, just about do it. But I make yet one more mistake, and you're gonna see that in just a moment. So he's down to 12%. I mean, he can't have that much health, right? And then I was like, oh, I messed up my combo. Get blasted by special 2. It's got a little bit of a resist on it, but it wasn't gonna, totally help me out. But oh well, got into courage range. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. Give me that 20% extra attack. So life's good. I wanted to double check, or I'm sorry, I need to go in here, and I had this all set up already. All I had to do was turn on resonate, and of course make sure I don't forget. Get back into war as fast as possible, because I know my 3-minute boost is still running. I do want to check it one last time. And I was like, okay, 35 seconds. Sweet. It's like, I got just a moment. Look at my pre-fights that have been placed. Those are Mr. Fantastic pre-fights and the White Magneto pre-fight. Give me the extra attack, I believe it is. I think that works for him. I'm not sure. I'd have to read it. So, here we go again, guys. It is a new season, but apparently it's the same fights. And this one gets, I mean, this is one of my better solos probably ever. I get off 2 SP1s nice and early, refresh those debuffs on him. Now it's just, and you know, for this one, I thought I'm going to bait more special 1s than special 2s. I know last season, and I do bait some special 2s in this fight as well, but I know that last season I baited primarily special 2s, and that one that clipped me, oh, it just kind of set me off a little bit. So we're going to bait a few more SP1s in this one than I have in the past. But off to a great start. I'm outpacing his damage to me. He's at 80, I'm at 90. So as long as those percentages are staying in my favor, then life is good. I do not want to try to do this fight with 3% health again. It's very difficult. I do run into one hiccup in this fight, and you'll see it, where he throws a special not being at 15 rock stacks, and then I'm forced to just do a lot of, you know, finagling to get him over a bar to throw it. And you'll kind of see how I approach that in just a few minutes. This is a 3-minute fight, almost guaranteed every time. Count my rock stacks nicely. No assassin, remember that. You don't ever want assassin on, even though he's not in assassin range, but you don't ever want that on. All right, so you got to bait the special 2. I like my spacing there. Everything went well. Always trying to get those parries off whenever possible, whether it's parry, reparry, or just a parry and block it. That's the name of the game, so that way you can dex and he doesn't go indestructible. Going good. I'm happy where I'm at. And right there, I mean, I went to immediate block and he just went ahead and threw it. I was like, okay, go ahead and dash back, buddy. There we go. Perfect. So I want to just hit into his block and keep him pushed back to his side of the screen. And once he's over a bar, I know I'm back in good shape. And my debuffs are, you know, they're doing their thing. So I don't even have to be hitting him. So if he's wanting to block and be passive, then that's fine too, because he's going down one way or the other. But parry, reparry, I don't ever try for a third parry. I assume it's possible to just kind of keep parry, reparry like every single attack, but I just go with what works and what's safe. Right here, I'm watching him completely melt. He's losing over 2,000 a second. Per tick, I should say. It's like 4,000 a second. And this SP1 is going to kill him. So, first solo of the season. 9 fights down, 0 deaths. Proud of our effort as an alliance. First war of the season is always tough. And Kenobi did end up besting us in this one, but it was a lot closer than our previous matchup. So we got a lot more coming your way this season, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope your season is off to a great start as well. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.